Okay guys, we are going to work on today's homework. So it is this sheet, operations with decimals. You had some notes that you took on this side, but I'm going to do this side with you. Okay, so up here when we're doing adding and subtracting, you could use like a scrap paper or something, but I like to just divide this one like this, and it gives you a column to write each of your problems in. So when you add and subtract, you have to line up your decimal. It is a must, okay? So I like to go write my decimals in. It's just visually easier for me to do this, because if they have to be lined up anyway, I want to line them up at the beginning. So those are my two decimals for my problem, okay? And so now I'm going to go fill in the number 2.3 plus 6.4. And then I'm just going to set them all up like this, okay? So 10.26 plus 4.39. 18.4 plus 6.2. Now these are subtracting. 1.77 minus 0.53. You can put these zeros in from the front. You do not have to though. 6.4 minus 2.35. Now here's a tricky part. The one in front isn't necessary, but the one at the end is. I have a 5 here. I need a placeholder 0 there. Okay? So this is 14.32. This is 11.671. I need another placeholder 0. These both are subtracting. Actually, all three of those are subtracting. Okay, so now that I have them set up, I can just go ahead and do my adding and subtracting. So 3 plus 4 is 7. Bring my decimal down. 6 plus 2 is 8. 9 plus 6, 15. 2 plus 3 is 5. Plus 1 is 6. Bring my decimal down. 0 and 4 is 4. And 1. 4 and 2 is 6. Bring my decimal down. 8 plus 6, so maybe you're not sure, use your fingers. You could do touch math. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Carry my 1. 1 and 1 is 2. Okay, so that was my adding. Now I need my subtracting. 7 minus 3, 4. 7 minus 5, 2. Bring my decimal down. 1 minus 0, 1. Here's where I have to borrow. I have 0. I can't take 5 away. So I borrow from the 4, make it a 3. Give that 1 to this 0. And now I have 10 minus 5, which is 5. 3 minus 3, which is 0. Bring my decimal down. 6 minus 2, which is 4. 0 minus 1. Can't do it. I have to borrow. So now I have 10 minus 9. 10 minus 1 is 9. 1 minus 7. Can't do it. Have to borrow. 11 minus 7. 4. 2 minus 6. Can't do it. Have to borrow. So now I have 12 minus 6. That's 6. Bring my decimal down. 3 minus 1 is 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay? That's all there is for that one. This next section says place the decimal in the product. Product means answer. Okay? So they have the problem and they have the answer. You need to place the decimal. So first I need to go through and count how many digits are behind the decimal in the problem. So I have a 5, a 2, and a 1. They're behind the decimals, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3. And so I start at the back. 1, 2, 3. 3 shifts. And so your decimal goes between the 4 and the 7. How many digits are behind the decimal? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Between the 1 and the 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right in front of the 0. 1, 2, and there's no decimal in this number, so I don't have to count anything. So 1, 2, 1, 2 in front of the 3. No decimal in this number, so I just have 1, 2. 1, 2 between the 4 and the 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's how you place your decimal when you're multiplying. So now I have this section where I have to multiply and show my work. Okay, so I'm going to divide it like this again so I have a good column for each one of my problems. Unlike when we add and subtract, we do not line up the decimals in multiplying. We only line up the numbers. So when I multiply, I don't even need to put the decimal in there until the end. Okay, so instead of thinking of this as 3.2, I'm just going to write down 32. And then I'm going to times it by 6. Okay? I can do that problem a lot easier than with decimals. So 6 times 2 is 12. 6 times 3 is 18. Plus 1 is 19. And then I need to go back, count how many digits are behind the decimal in the problem. 1, 2. 1, 2. So my answer is 1.92. Okay? So for this one, I have 43 times 2. I'm just putting the numbers and lining my numbers up. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. Go back to the problem. How many digits are behind the decimal? 1, 2. 1, 2. 121, so that's what I'm going to write for this, times 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. Go back and count how many digits. There's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. 23 times 6. Remember, you do not need to put the decimals in your work here. Okay? 6 times 3 is 18. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. How many digits behind the decimal in the problem is just 1. So I just shift over once. This one she did in class with us. So we should have 44 times 2. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8. I have 1, 2, 3 digits. 1, 2, 3 decimal places. And I fill in with a 0 in that empty space. 96 times 2. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 9 is 18. Plus 1 is 19. Go back to the problem. Count how many digits. I have 3. And I shift over 3 times. Okay? Now down to division. I just divide it the same way so I have enough space. Okay? So I have decimal 5 divided by 23.5. Okay? I don't want to divide by a decimal, so I have to shift this over one time. If I shift this one once, I shift this one once, draw my line straight up, and put my decimal in the answer. So now I have 5 goes into 2. Nope, can't do it. 5 goes into 23. Yes, it goes in 4 times. 4 times 5 is 20. Now I subtract. 23 minus 20 is 3. I bring down my 5. 5 goes into 35 7 times. 7 times 5 is 35, and so when I subtract those, I get 0, and I'm done. So I have decimal 4672 and decimal 4 out front. I shift this over to make it a whole number. So if I shift this one once, I shift this once, bring it straight up, and put it in your answer. 4 goes into 4 one time. 4 times 4 is 4. When I subtract, 4 minus 4 is 0. Now I bring down my next number. 4 goes into 6 one time. 1 times 4 is 4. Now I subtract. 6 minus 4 is 2. Bring down my next number. 4 goes into 27 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. Subtract. 7 minus 4 is 3. 2 minus 2 is 0. Now I bring down my last number. 4 goes into 32 8 times exactly. 8 times 4 is 32. Subtract, and I get 0. Last problem. 4 decimal 712 divided by decimal 31. Okay? I have to shift this decimal 2 times to get it to be a whole number. So I have to shift this decimal 2 times and bring it straight up. Okay? So now I have 31 goes into 47 one time. 1 times 31 is 31. Subtract. 7 minus 1 is 6. 4 minus 3 is 1. Bring my number down. So 31 goes into 161. Well, I'm just going to guess here. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. So that looks pretty darn close. So I know 31 goes into 161 5 times. 5 times 31 is 155. When I subtract those, I have to borrow. 11 minus 5 is 6. 5 minus 5 is 0. 1 minus 1 is 0. I have one more number to bring down. 31 goes into 62 2 times exactly. 2 times 31 is 62. Subtract those, and I get 0. Alright, you guys. I hope that was helpful. If you need more help, let me know if that didn't make any sense or if I went too fast. Okay? Let me know.